Ziliqa enjoys a recent price surge up to 20 cents. However, the future looks extremely bright for Ziliqa as we come to the end of a 3-year pattern, which is looking extremely bullish. However, I'm not buying now, and I'm going to tell you why at the end of this video, so make sure you stick around for that to be kept up to date with what is happening in Ziliqa. Guys, welcome to the House of Crypto. I make videos on Ethereum, Bitcoin, and other altcoins like Ziliqa. To be kept up to date with all of the latest happening in the crypto markets, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of the latest happening in the crypto markets. Without further ado then, let's jump on over to the Ziliqa chart. So currently looking over here on the 1 hour chart, we saw yesterday this big break from this large consolidation pattern which has been building for quite some time, breaking up to the upside, finding a bit of resistance and bouncing down, but flipping this 17 cents, 17.3 cents into good support, and we've seen it rise ever since with a bit of a crash coming down over the last few hours to find more support at the 50-hour EMA, and also this lower trend line moving up this direction. Now, obviously, in the short term, it's been pretty bullish, and I know a lot of people are getting very excited about it. Over on Twitter, Ziliqa is sort of becoming very popular to talk about, obviously behind Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, etc. But Ziliqa is getting more and more popular in the space, more and more people are hearing about it, and there's some great potential coming in, especially when we look at things like NFTs, which obviously have been surging recently, and there's a lot of that's exposed a lot of problems on like the Ethereum network in terms of gas fees and speed, etc. Obviously, Ziliqa offers a sharded blockchain which allows for an enormous amount of transactions to take place. And a video I made yesterday, which I'll link to the end of this video, about Bitcoin and Max Keisler's insane prediction of $220,000 by the end of 2021. It's based around, banks like Citibank, etc., potentially going under. Now, what he's sort of stating is that, the crypto space can take over from the banks. There's no real need for the banks anymore, as they only sort of serve as middlemen. However, Bitcoin can only process around 8 to 15 transactions a second. As Ziliqa can shard and can handle any amount of transactions that are happening at any time, which is the sort of USP of Ziliqa and what makes it so powerful. So, if we can see things like that happening with Bitcoin and banks, etc., going under, then Ziliqa becomes more and more valuable, and there's an incredible team working on it over in Singapore at the moment, and a lot of investment going into it in Asia, as well as Ziliqa investing in Asia and building projects, etc. Now, what I want to draw your attention to isn't actually over here on the 1 hour chart, but it's most significant over on the weekly chart, because this pattern has been building for around 3 years, and it's sort of almost coming to a point where something extremely exciting is about to happen. Okay, so over here on the weekly chart, we can see over a very long period of time, this is a sort of a 3 years pattern. This is May 2018, which is nearly 3 years ago, okay, where we last sort of saw this spike to around, it spiked up to 23 cents, which we haven't quite reached yet, and I'm sure we probably will in the coming days. And then we saw this big old downtrend that lasted all the way up until March of last year, partly because of, obviously the bear cycle, but also because Ziliqa actually failed to arrive on time for a number of projects. However, since then, have upgraded their team and upgraded their process, and a lot of their projects are starting to arrive on time, and that they're making some really good progress. Okay, so it's not such a thing to worry about. We've seen this big surge all the way up to the upside, where down here we're looking at 0.002 cents, $0.002, all the way up to 20 cents, which we saw yesterday. Now, what I want to draw your attention to, guys, and many people I see hyping this up and getting really excited and wanting to buy now, but the reason I'm waiting for that is this pattern. I'm going to show you that now. Okay, what you see here, guys, is what's called a cup and handle pattern, cup and handle trading pattern. You see, we have a big old cup, like a coffee cup, and a handle which comes on here. Now, as you can see, this is probably May back in 2018, and this is pretty much where we are now. Now, the reason I want you to sort of be aware of this is, I see a lot of hype, and I think Ziliqa is amazing, and I'm really long-term long on Ziliqa, and I think it's going to do amazing things. I'm going to tell you where it's going to go in a minute, which is something to be really excited about as a Ziliqa holder. However, we will probably likely see this pattern play to the downside. And actually, as a longer term holder, this is going to be the most beneficial and most stable thing for Ziliqa to do. If Ziliqa shoots up like this, then the potential crash that might come later on is going to be bigger. but also it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to have sustained growth. This is actually a very stable trading pattern, and if it continues to go up, then it won't be such a stable pattern, and it's always going to come into a new pattern and create new opportunities. However, what I expect to see is it kind of break potentially to the downside, and then, as we know, these falling wedges, falling flag patterns tend to be very bullish, and they do more often than not, break to the upside. So this is what I am waiting to see happen. Now, when it breaks to the upside, where is it going to go, and how do we know where it's going to get, and how do we know why it's going to get there? So jumping back to the other chart. Now, as we can see, it's hit this level here, right, which is the previous all-time high, where we never had a weekly close above it, and we're literally at that line as we speak. Now, obviously, that's going to be a substantial line to break, but one thing I want to draw your attention to is actually what we're seeing over here. As you can see, this is on the weekly, so obviously over a very long period of time, as the price has been going up, we've actually started to lose volume. Now, when we see sort of big surges to the upside as we break through all-time highs, what we want to see is a good amount of buy volume come in to push the price up. But why are we not seeing that? Now, looking down below at the RSI, which shows when we're overbought or oversold, you can see that actually this has been going up. Okay, so this has been going up, saying it's very, very overbought at the moment, while the volume has been dropping to the downside. Now, that tends to mean that we're looking at a time when we might see a bit of a price reversal. Okay, so a lot of people are bought in at the moment, many people longing Ziliqa. However, there's a potential that actually we're going to see it come back down, and as I mentioned, guys, that's probably the most healthy thing that we might see. Now, where would I see it coming back down to? As you can see in the past, we've sort of seen this area here where we saw a good level of resistance, and here was very solid for us to break out before we eventually broke out. So this is around sort of 9 cents. However, I don't know if it would break down there. What I anticipate it breaking down to is around the sort of 11-cent level, okay, which is just under these candles here. And if it returns to around the 11-12 cent area, that, in my opinion, is a fantastic buying opportunity, an opportunity to load up or get in if you've not got in already. Okay, so what I'm doing at the moment, I have a holding and I'm going to keep it because it's staked, and I'm sure many of you have got it staked, which is one of the main draws, because you can earn something like 16% on that, which is obviously fantastic. But what I see is it coming back down, and when it comes back down to this sort of level is when I'm going to be buying more. What we want to see, as we saw before, would be the falling wedge pattern, a confirmed breakout, and once it breaks up above these previous levels of resistance, that's when we know that this is a solid time to enter the trade. Okay, so when we get close or weekly close above this level at around 20 cents, that's when we should be getting extremely bullish on there. Now, up to where the next price extension, as you know, once we go up into clear unknown territory, is around the 1.618 level, which is drawn here, which is around the 83.5 cents. Or 83.4 cents, and that will be a 250% increase. And then if we go all the way up to the 1.272, that will be around a 760% increase. Okay, from where we currently sat now, guys. It's super exciting. If you're holding Ziliqa, let me know down in the comments. Let me know what your price target is. Personally, if this does surge to the upside, I'll be taking profits around the 618, and then I'll probably leave a bit of my position going to the 1.272. But as you know, Warren Buffett always says, number one rule is don't lose. Number two is don't forget number one. Okay, so don't necessarily feel the need. Sometimes we get a bit greedy and we get excited, but when we're sort of feeling greedy and excited, it's when we start thinking about taking out some of our position and maybe either putting it into a stable coin or moving it across into something else. Okay, let me know in the comments below what you think is going to happen, guys. Thanks very much for watching today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. If you want more content like this, then please hit the subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of the latest happening in the crypto markets. I'm going to leave links to both Ethereum and Bitcoin videos at the end of this video. So if you want to see more content like this about both Ethereum and Bitcoin, then make sure you wait and see those. Thanks very much, and I will see you tomorrow with another video. Thank you. Bye-bye.